Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're looking for a dynamic Power BI dashboard and report creation, here is the channel you can actually learn from. Alright, let's get started with what we have right here. So on this particular dashboard, what we're trying to see is actually getting to see the view of Chicago performance in August 2021. And if we switch to New York right now, we're gonna see the sales of this particular company in New York, and you can see the performance across every single chart we have right here. Not just that, you can come right here and make a selection of any month at all you really want to actually make any comparison with right here. So now you see we have the previous month based on our selection. Don't worry, as soon as we start creating this, you're gonna understand everything we have right here. The most beautiful aspect of it is actually selecting the top products based on the filter you have placed on it. This is a little bit something you might not have thought of, but it is possible right here in Power BI. If I select top 2 products right now, what I'm going to see is just the top 2 products, and we have the other products that are not part of the top 2 being categorized to others. That is exactly what I want you to understand. And we can see the comparison of the top 2 products to the overall products. Select the top 4 products. What do you see? You see the slider is going to change to top 4 products being selected and all that. Okay, fine, not too fast. In case you're not some kind of satisfied with what we have right here, let me take you to the requirement of this dashboard. So here the client's sales. I'm not going to read through everything we have right here, but you can read through it yourself by pausing the video to know what the requirement is before you get to download the data. It says we need a switchable top end to see which products are doing well and compared the selected product to the overall revenue. Revenue trend on a monthly basis, revenue comparison across sales regions. On one slicer, I want to select both month and year to filter the dashboard, a slicer for region and stuff like that. And here is the final output based on what you've just seen on Power BI service. And the next thing we're going to do right now is for you to head up straight to our Power BI desktop and get started to create this from the scratch. So now if you're ready, I'm always ready. And remember, if you have not subscribed to my channel before now, this is the best time to do subscribe. Okay, right now let us get started by inserting a new PBIX. So click on new. That is gonna be good. So if you have not launched Power BI before now, all you have to do is to come to where you have the icon, click on it, and you're gonna have something just like this. Alright, right now that we've launched this, what we need to do is to get data. I'm gonna go right here and click on get data. Those are the various sources of data we have existing in Power BI currently, but the one we're gonna use is the Excel workbook. So you have to be sure what extension you have or what kind of file do you really have. Is it Excel workbook, or you have it in TXT or CSV, JSON, XML, or folder? So I'm gonna double click on this. So it takes me to my system where I have my data right in, and here is the data we are sent for the project. So I'm gonna click on this raw data, double click on it, and right now we're gonna have it opened up. And when we check and say that the data is not clean, we don't need to push it inside Power BI yet. This is the preview of the data. You can just go this way and look at it. Look at what you're seeing. Can you see it right now? So this is not in any way healthy. And as you can see here, it's not some kind of active for us to click and say transform. All we have to do is to go back and click on this. Just check it. Let's go back down. Now you can see. So this time around, I'm going to click on transform data, and we are pushing the data inside Power Query. Alright everyone, welcome to the Power Query environment. Here we can actually clean and transform our data. And if I scroll to this end right now, what happens? We keep seeing a lot of columns that are not really cool. We don't know if those columns are healthy or are going to be some kind of use in our analysis or whatsoever, although we've gotten the specification of what we want, but we have to make our data clean. The the first thing I love to do is like go to like view here, click on view, and from view you can see where we have the column quality. So click on that and you're gonna see every single column how it is. Now if you look at this column right now, it's 99% valid and we have 1% empty. And can you see that right now? So now let us first of all start from here. I'm gonna uncheck this column quality for now. I'm gonna come back to it again, so uncheck it. If you look at this right now, we have those total sales, total profit, and the transactions here that we're not going to use for analysis, and we have this as well. How do we get this column off? That is one question you need to ask. I'm going to go to my home, and right here I want to click on where we have this particular remove rows. Click on that, and all I want to do is to remove top rows. Click on it. Okay, now you have this. When I say remove top rows, this is what we have. How many rows do we want to remove from the top rows? Let us count. So I'm going to keep this header. I'm not going to count it as part of it. I want to remove this 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have 4 rows to be gone right now. So I'm going to impute my 4 right here. And if I go down this way, I'm going to click on OK. Let's see what happens if I click on OK. So the 4 rows are gone. Now we still have the header the way it is. So we have column 1 down to the last column. That is not what we want to use. So we have the headers for our data, and we have to push it to the column, to the header area. How do we do that? So if you actually still remain on home, you can see where we have use our first row as header. So if I click on that right now, it's going to take this off and push this right there. Let's see. Now it worked. We've just gotten this ready. That is beautiful. Our data is almost about to get ready. And the one thing I love about Power BI is that every single step we make is going to be some kind of recorded right here, and you can come right here and rename any of these tabs so that whoever inherits this will know what you have done. So changing header, I'm gonna hit OK. Now can you look at what just happened? This gives us a description of what we have done right here, and if you want to make changes in subsequent time to come, you can always come here and have your changes done. Alright, right now this column is something that we need to take care of. We just have note and we're not sure what note is all about. I want to check it out right here. Go to column quality and you can see we have 1% valid and 99% empty. So for that we don't need this column. You can check it out by clicking on this particular part right here and see what we have. We have percentage, this ampersand, this asterisk, and all of that. So we don't need it, so we have to take it off. You can click on the delete key on your keyboard and it's going to help you to wipe it off. That is gone. So those columns here, they are cool. We don't have problem with them. I'm going to scroll all the way. Keep scrolling. Make sure you have 100% valid before you are very much certain that your data is getting ready for visualization and analysis. Okay, now it stopped here. This is where we have it. So profit is the last column. If you want to be ascertain if this is really cool, you can go to the source file, have it opened already. So here we have it stopped at profit, but we don't really know why we have other columns that has some kind of bunch of empty and stuff like that. So I'm going to start from here right now. Can you see what I've done? I'm going to scroll this way. Don't care about whatever you see again, just scroll down to the last one, and here we are. Hold your shift key on your keyboard. Once you hold the shift key down, click on this particular part right here. It highlights just those areas for you. Can you see? I'm going to show you two ways to do this. Can you see it right now? Can you see it highlights those areas we're not going to need down to this end? And on my delete key, I have them gone. So this is the data we have right now. Can you see it right now? So this is the step. I'm going to remove it. So we have it back just like normal. I want to show you something. Can you see them right now? So instead of we doing that, what we can do in the other way around is this. I can click on this part right here. I'm gonna scroll to this end to where we have profit. I'm gonna hold my shift key, and now I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna say remove other columns. So it keeps this column for me and it takes other columns off. Beautiful, right? Okay, now we can deselect this because we are really sure of all the whole columns to be very cool. I'm gonna take it off. Now this is what we have. All right, quickly, what I'm gonna do is just do some kind of come right here. I'm gonna rename this one to my fact table. So, because okay, I think this, I removed this before and I don't know why it's returned back again. I'm gonna take it off. So now this is cool. So now we have it on one table, and it's not really healthy for you to have your whole data on one table. The more the data gets some kind of huge, the slower your report or your dashboard gets. So for that, we have to split this data we have right now into different tables. How do you do that? Have you done this before? I think if you have been watching my video before now, you must have seen me done this in most of my videos. So I'm gonna right click right now, and you're gonna see where you have duplicate. I'm gonna click on that, so it's some kind of duplicate table into two for us. Now we have store name. I want to actually have a table for my stores, and all I need to do is to kind of highlight that and right click and say remove other columns. Now we have table for our stores. The next thing I'm gonna do right now is to some kind of double click on it. I'm gonna have it renamed from here. I'm gonna say store lookup. Now the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to some kind of go to home, and right here under remove rows, I'm gonna click on that. You see where we have remove duplicates. So I want to have unique list of those stores, so I'm going to just click on this, and now here we go. We have the unique list of our stores, no duplicates. The next thing is for me to click on add column, and now we have to create an ID or some couple of ID for all our stores. By clicking on index, this gives us ID from 0 down to the last number. I'm going to show you another way to do this, to have this some kind of customized the way you really want it. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to double click on this. I'm going to have to name it as my store ID. So after that, I'm going to push it all the way to the side. And always make sure your store ID is actually a whole number. Can you see it right now? The whole number. And always make sure this one right here is on the right, or data type. So now we have this already. So I'm gonna click back right here. I want to double this again. I'm gonna duplicate this, and now we have it. So we have our region, and just right click and say remove duplicate. Quickly, we have to just come right here. Sorry, yeah, this is now remove duplicate. I made a mistake previously before now. Okay, now we have this. I want to name this one my region lookup. So quickly, if we go to add, and here instead of me to just click on it, I'm gonna have to click right here. And now you can decide to start from 0, or you start from 1, or you customize how you want it to go. If you want your start index to be from 10 and increment by 2, let's see what happens. Can you see? We have 10, 12, 14. They are all unique. It depends on what you want. I'm gonna leave it like this. So it's your choice if you want to leave it this way. And now we just want to type in here region ID. So push it right here, and that is very cool. Okay, I want to do one more of it. So we just have to go and duplicate. And once we have done that duplicate, the next thing is our store type. I want to right click and just say remove other columns, and double click on this part right here. Alright, right now we are ready to actually go into the next step. Now that we've actually splitted all those tables, the tables we need some kind of split. I'm going to come right here and click on the master table right now, and I'm going to go to home. It is time for we to make sure we create some kind of connection so that our data modeling will be very fast and cool. Okay, by doing this, the next thing I'm going to do is to go to my right hand corner. You can see where we have merge query. If I open it up right now, you can see merge query as new and merge query right here. Which one do we choose? So let me go through the first one right here. If I click on merge queries right now, let's see what we're going to have. Now we have this open for us. So the next thing we're going to do right now, what particular table do we want to merge together? I'm going to click on this part right here. It's going to open all my lookup tables for me. So I'm going to click on region lookup, and here we go. I want to smash this region to this region right here, and I should have 100%. How did you know if you have 100%? You should have the same number right here to this number, which means it matched 100%. So we use the left outer join to do this. If you are very familiar with SQL, you would have known what I'm talking about right here. Do not change this. It's actually gonna be using left outer join. This is what is cool for this. I'm not gonna go through all this. If you want to know much about this, you might actually check my SQL tutorial where I will teach all this, right? Then you understand and apply it right here if need be. So right now, once we are done and we have it matched 100%, we can click on OK right here, and we're gonna have this. So now that we have this, if I go right here and click on this, this is what I have. So what we just need right now is nothing but the ID, not the region any longer. I'm gonna have to deselect this and just check the ID alone and use the original column name as prefix. Now I'm gonna just take this and untick it, click on OK, and you have all the IDs. Do you see this right now? Okay, now that we've done this, the next thing I'm gonna do right now, I can definitely scroll to this end. What we've just gotten is region ID, and now we don't need this region right here again. We can take it off. Do you get that? So that is exactly what it is. So if I go on the same place again and I click on merge queries, and now I am using merge query as new, what is going to happen is that when I merge this query, it's going to create another table for me, which is what we don't want to some kind of going into. You might want to test it out and see how that works or how that played out, but don't do that. So I'm going to go right here again. This time around, I want to select the second one and quickly store name. We look for where we have the store name right in here. Let's see if this matches 100%, and it does match with left outer join, and I'm gonna click on my OK. So we've went through this before now. Just select this, and this one is already unchecked, and click on OK. And we just have to locate where we have store name right in. Take it off. We don't need it. Okay, the next the last one now is click on this. We go here. Now this is the last one, store type, and I'm gonna locate my store type, and that is gonna give me 100% match. So go, and here we go. So store type ID is there, so we have to take our store type off from here. Alright everybody, we are done from here. It's time for we to go and see how we can get things done in Power BI. All I need to do right now is to make sure I clicked on home and just close and apply. Alright, this will take a while because the data is not that heavy. So look at what we have on the field area. This is where you're going to have all these tables right in. So now we have all the tables right here. The first thing we do when we actually have our tables right in the Power BI environment is for we to check and see how we can relate all those tables together. That is what we call star schema. So come to this particular module area, and now we have it automatically to dictate all the relationship for us. So, and if you have not done this before, I want to actually take this from the scratch. I'm going to disconnect them and we can do it from the scratch. Alright, I have disconnected the tables and we have to create our relationship ourselves. One other thing you can do to avoid this automatic relationship, because sometimes might definitely get it wrong, is a machine. And you have to learn how to do it all by yourself and know when things are not really some kind of right. Is for you to go to File. From File, click on where you have Option and Settings, and now click on Options. Let us wait for it to come up. Okay, here we go. We have this right here, and quickly go to where you have this particular load data or data load, right? And let us make sure we some kind of uncheck this auto detect new relationship after data loads. And I'm gonna have to uncheck this because any moment from now I don't want any data load right here to actually create automatic relationship for me. I want to do that myself because I know how to do it, and you should do this too because you want to know how to do it by learning how to do it. So I'm gonna click on OK. That is done. So if you remember vividly, we created some IDs for our new created table. What I can do right now is to make sure I drag this store ID to a store ID, but mistakenly if I have that dragged to a different ID, what should I do? Because I know for real that this is not store ID, because it actually dictates some kind of uniqueness between the numbers we have our IDs. It's some kind of made it right. So how do we some kind of go around this and correct it? Would we have to some kind of delete the relationship, or what do we do? Don't delete, just go to Properties. So from Properties, you can see we have store ID, and it's looking at what? It's looking at region ID. So all we have to do right now is to come right here, and this is where we have our store ID, and that is done. Just click on OK. So now if we just hover over it, what do we see? So we have this corrected. The next thing right now is the region ID. The region ID should go to the region ID right where it is. So I just have to make sure so now it has been opened up. So I'm gonna drag this to my region. That is done. And the next one is my store ID. I want to drag my store ID to the store right here. So what we've just created now is called one-to-many relationship. So we have one more table to come in, and that table is called a date table. I'm not going to create a date table from the scratch. You can copy the code I have right here for DAX date table and use it as well. So I want to go to my previous work. Don't worry, I'm going to provide you with the date code, then you can do that. Already I've taught this on my channel. If you have been watching my video, you can see how to create a simple date column right here. I've just done the copying. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to go down to here. I want to come right here. So go to this particular data view. So once we are here, what we see is the previous tables we have right here. Right now we need a new fresh table. So click on that. It's going to open a new fresh table for us. So here we have a new fresh table. The next thing we're going to do right now is to make sure we paste the code we some kind of copied. I'm going to leave this on a text file for you. Go ahead and copy it and place it right here and make the changes you need to make to have the date table to be some kind of right. So what this date table will do now is that it's going to scan through our date column and see how many years of data that we have and form the date from January down to December of the last year. Let's check it out. If I hit my enter, so we should see it generated right here. So now we just have new table created, and if I click right here right now, what can we see? So we have 2020 and 2021, so it will not go beyond this. I have another date table that will go beyond this, but when you start to some kind of drag it on a particular measure or in particular visual, it will not correct the date for you. But that is not what I'm going to go through right now. This is what it is. So right now, after this, we need to actually make connection, right? So we can now go right here and find the new table here. Can you see it? So here's our new table. So I want to bring this down. So here we go. So now we have to connect this one to our date right here. So that is under one-to-many relationship. Cool. So what do we have to do next? This is not really cool yet. We have to some kind of come back to this part here, and I'm gonna have to close this for now. So it's not sorted. To my new subscribers or new viewers, if I drag any visual, I'm gonna actually bring a table right in here. So I have a new table here, and inside this table I want to go right here and bring my month in. So if you look at it, so the month start from April, August, December, and it's mixed up. It should start from January and end in December, but that is not the case right here. What do? Go right here, and now we have a month number created here. Don't forget, I have other tutorials that I've actually covered how to build it from the scratch. Just copy it this time around. So once you have this particular month selected, I'm going to go right to where we have sort by column. So you see all the columns we have on our date table, and where we have month number, which is this particular numbers right here. Make sure you click on it and it's going to be sorted for you. The same thing we've done right now is what we're going to do to our weekdays to make it sorted rightly from the right orders. So make sure you have it highlighted and go right here and sort by week number. So it is time for we to add more columns to this, but we're not going to write any code. Instead, we're going to some kind of use add column in Power BI. So right now we have to combine the month and year together. So by combining this month and this month together, what do? This time around, I want to go to home, and from home I can see where we have new column right here. So click on new column, and it's going to insert another column right here for us. So now that we have this column right here, let's see what we're going to do. Okay, we have to some kind of reference the column we want some kind of joined. So here is the months. So once I just some kind of type in calendar right here, what happens is this: it actually gives me all the calendar columns we have right in here, and I have to make a reference to this particular month but not month number. So here I have my month right here. So to make sure we join it to year, what we have to use is the ampersand right here, and now we want to use the delimiter. That is, maybe we should use space, underscore, and any other way around. I'm going to put that inside of quotation. Here we have a dash between and this, and I'm going to use this again. Now we are going to bring in the next column, which is the year column, calendar, and this time around we should scroll down to get the year, and here we have the year column. So if I hit my enter key right now, we should have both of them combined together. It's very important because we're going to need this very column I just got created right now. Can you see this right now? So one step to get off from this place, and that is where we have to make sure we mark this as a date table. So to do that, just click on your tools right here, table tools, and now we can see where we have mark as date table, and we're going to click on that. So here we go, we have this, and we just go ahead and choose the column date, and the validation is successful. We can click on OK. That is done. So it's optional. You might want to change this to a proper date. So I think we have to go back to Power Query to correct something right now. I'm going to click here And once I have here clicked on so sorry for that. No. Okay, now here we go. I want to change the date type. I just want to make sure I use something that starts with Monday and year like this, so it's gonna give me the correct one. So this is what it is. So if I go back to home and I'm gonna go back to Power Query, from here go and click on transform data. So we've not checked if every single columns are on the right, data type. So we've not done that. So to do that, this is where we have to come. So you can go through and you'll find that the store ID, they are all in the right one because we need a whole number for it. Our profit is not gonna be decimal. We just want to put it on a whole number. You see that? So we've changed that, and we want to put this one on a whole number as well. We want a whole number for it, and we've just changed that to a whole number. So we don't want that extra decimal point and all of that. So the other way around, you can do this if you're not really saturated with what data type is yet and you still want to work with data, is for you to make sure you select the whole table. And what you're gonna do right now, let's go to transform, and you have detect data type, and you click it, and it's going to give you the right data type for every single columns you have. So this is what I just want to show you right from here. Click on home, now close and apply. Okay, 100% we are done transforming, cleaning, and connecting our tables together. It is time to get very much more deep inside it. As you can see, we've gotten this from January down to December, and this is right. So I want to get it out from here. I want to remove this. I don't want it. Now it is time to get deep into the analysis and visualization. It is time to create something like this, just like what you have on your screen right now. How do we go about it? Now we have more emphasis on top products. So the clients wants to be able to select top 2, top 3, top 4, top 5, even top 1 and compare it to the whole sales, just like what we have right here. Now, how do we create this? If you look at it, when we actually select the top 3, what happens is actually going to narrow down to the top 3, and if we select top 2, it's going to be narrowed down to top 2, and it's going to be compared to the overall sales where we have the other sales right in. So in order for we to create some kind of this visual right now, what we can do is to start to write our decks. Let's get started with this. So here we are, as always. Now I'm going to show you a new way to organize your DAX measures. First of all, the first thing you're going to do is come in right here and enter data, which is going to bring this to you, and all we have to do is just for we to say all measures. I'm going to load that into Power BI. And once we have this right in, we can start to write our DAX measure right here. Not just that, we can open folder inside this particular all measure table we have right here. Okay, now clicking on this particular part, what I need to do is for me to first of all aggregate my revenue column, which is very simple and easy. Just go right here, or you can right click from here, and you're gonna see where you have new measure. So once you have that, click on it. All right, here you go, right here. So what I can do right now is for me to still say my total revenue. So we don't need much calculation because already that column is being some kind of standout for us, and we don't have to aggregate, using some X related table whatsoever. So using the sum function, we want to create a measure because we are going to reuse this measure over and over. It is better for we to do because we can branch out from this measure and tell more stories. So here we go. Now this is the column we need to work with almost all through. So the next thing we're gonna do right now is to create a new table. Okay, I want to go ahead and some kind of collapse and open it back, and now okay, I'm gonna go to my fact table, and inside the facts table right here we should have a table for all the products. So here is a table for all the products. So we don't have orders right here, because what we want to do is this. If I go back here right now, you can see now I'm gonna have to make sure I get you this. Now this order is not a product. So what we just did right here is this. We actually selected the top 2 products, and what we did after that was to categorize other products that does not actually fall inside the top 2 into orders. And for we to add these orders right now, we need to actually create a table from the previous table we have. So, and that will actually make us to be able to find what is the percentage of the top 1, 2, 3 down to the top 5 compared to the overall, products. Now let's go ahead and do that. So click right here, and now here we go. So go ahead and click on go to home. From home you can see where we have this new table right in. So go ahead and click on new table, and let us actually create a new table for this analysis. Okay, we have this right here, and quickly we have to rename this to our products. I want to have it some kind of opened. So we have named this to our product. For our products, I'm gonna hold my shift key, enter. It's gonna take me into the next line, and I can indent that with the tab key. So what I'm gonna do right now is to use function called union. Right, so what union is looking for is a table, and right now we want the distinct extraction of all tables. Like where we want to actually extract this from has a lot of duplicates, so we don't want the duplicate alongside with it. So what we can do right now is to use another function called distinct, and now the distinct is actually gonna take all the product. I'm gonna go with product. So here we have the product category, and right here we have the product name. So which is the product name that we're gonna use? I'm gonna have to close that. I'm gonna hit my comma. So now we need to some kind of shift enter, and now I'm gonna use another one called data table. So this is where we some kind of extract it and some kind of add a new row called orders. So inside here I want to type in products. So product, comma, and strange. Now we are about some kind of add a new row inside our product which had not been existing before. And how do we do that? If you go to your keyboard, you can see this particular is a curly brace, right? So you need to add two curly brace, open two curly brace, and in this particular double quotation you can now type in the orders right here. So we've categorized most of our products inside orders right now. Wrap it up in orders, and we just have to close this curly brace wherever it is, and that is okay. So we can shift enter and we can go ahead and close this, right? So hit your enter key and let's see what we have. Okay, we have an error. Let's see what the error is all about. Okay, if you look at it vividly right now, the error is coming from here because we've not some kind of closed the double quotation, and you can some kind of read through this and see what is going on. The following syntax error occurred during person invalid token line 4. Now it gives us the line offset 40 two orders. And if you look at it right now, you're gonna be like, what the heck is wrong with orders? And oh shit, we have to close this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And we just need one more close, because we've closed this, we need to close this as well. Enter, close, and that closes our union. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit my enter key. This time around it should work perfectly. Okay, now we've just gotten this created. I can go ahead and some kind of close this. Let's take a look at what we've just done right now. So we've gotten all the products right here, and the order is beneath it. Can you see now? This is what we don't have previously before now, but right now we've added it to our product. Okay, from here, what are we gonna do? Quickly, I want to come right here, and this is the table we've some kind of created. Now I'm not going to do something to this right now about the relationship. I'm going to show you how it works in Jiffy, but all I have to do is to click on this particular all measure right in here. I'm going to open this place up and create a folder. Now from there, all I have to do is to go to my all measure and click on this particular measure right here. No, I'm gonna go down. Where do I have it? Right in. Sorry to say, I'm gonna close this, close this. Now our product is the new one we've just created. I'm gonna have to click on it. I want to make sure I some kind of, you know, have a folder right in here. I want to show you how to add a folder right in here. So the name I want to display now is gonna be the top products. Can you see that? So when I just type in top products right now, is gonna be inside here. So I want to do this, and you're gonna see the purpose of doing this in a jiffy. You don't worry. So once we are done from here, we can go back to the visual, and they can actually bring in the products. Here we go, and here we go. We have it right here. So now, so we can open the top products up. Here we go, open it up, and you'll find the one we've just gotten created right in here. If I open it up right now, I'm gonna have to close this. So here we go, we have it, and we have the orders right inside here as well. This is what we're gonna be using. Right, let us proceed to do more things. So now we need to start calculating our dynamic, you know, top products. So we're gonna have to some kind of come right here and click on this particular folder. So inside this folder, we want some kind of add a new measure right inside it. So we can some kind of right click and go to new measure, and inside this new measure right here, I'm gonna type in dynamic products, top revenue. So dynamic top revenue, I'm gonna add my equal to right in. So shift enter key, indent it with top key, and now we have to use the calculate function. That was why we some kind of created a measure that's some kind of aggregated our column where we have the revenue sitting. So shift enter, and I want to bring the measure I just got created. So here we go, total revenue, if you're following up, and comma, shift enter. The next one is gonna be top n. That is how we can get this created. The top n, some kind of extract the number with some kind of get to define for our top n. This time around, let us extract the top 3, comma. But don't worry, in a jiffy we're gonna have to make this particular 3 here to be some kind of dynamic, you know, with okay, don't worry, when we get that particular bridge, we'll cross it. And I'm gonna hold my shift key, enter again, and this time around I want to do that by actually referencing the table with some kind of created. This particular table will show up right here, which is our products. Can you see it right here? Our products. That was the column, or that was the table we've gotten created. And I'm gonna have my comma right here, shift enter, and this time around wanna just do that, summarize that by the total revenue, and that is all. Close it, then close the calculate. Let's just hit our enter key and see what happens. So it's okay, it's working fine. So let us try to test it out and bring it up on a card. Now we have to bring up 2 cards. I'm gonna have my first card right here, copy and paste it down, second card right here. First of all, I want to bring the dynamic one right in. It's giving me 9 million, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring my total revenue right here. So total revenue. So for we to get to what it is right now, we just have to go right to this particular place, and let us change it from auto to none. I'm gonna come right here, I'm gonna change this one from auto to none. So if you check it, it's giving us the same value, both the total revenue and the top 3 revenue. Why is this happening? Let's see if it works on this. I want to go ahead and have it right here. And as you can see, it's giving us the same value all through down to the last row. This is crazy. Now I'm going to tell you what is going on right here. We have to go to our relationship, and here we have this table right in here. So it is now going to be one-to-many relationship because we have a distinct product right here. One single product appeared once and it appeared multiple right here. So it is time to create the relationship. I'm going to drag this from here down to this part, and it's going to create my one-to-many relationship for me. So if we go back right now, we should see different values. Can you see right now? This is what I'm talking about. So now the top 3 is now giving us this value, while the total is giving us this value. We're not done yet. We still have some other long way to go. Let's keep creating. If I now drag in total revenue to the table, here we go. We can see this is the dynamic top revenue, and here is our total revenue. But we don't really see much difference, except if we go all the way down here, we can find the difference between the two. Okay, what we are very much interested in right now is to see how we can some kind of extract the top 3 alone. So which means we need additional functions, right? I want to go to my dynamic top products right here, and on the top end right here, above it, I want to some kind of have keep filter right on it. So hold your shift key, make sure you place your cursor right here, and I'm going to actually use the keep filters function. And on this particular product, I want to use another function called all selected. So all selected is here. Here is all selected. So we just have to close all those particular new functions we've just some kind of added. So I want to go ahead and close it. Shift enter. I'm gonna close this. Shift enter. I'm gonna have to close this, right? That is beautiful. So if I now hit my enter key, let's see what is gonna happen. Okay, we have an error. Let's see what the error is all about. I think it's just a silly mistake, so we have to close the bracket right here, and that is nice. So we should take off one of the bracket we have right here that the machine some kind of produced for us, so that will clear the error for us. So this has worked. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to see what it is. So the top tray is right here. So here at the top tray, how do we do this? Let us some kind of rank, make sure it's some kind of rank from the highest to the lowest. So now we have it right. Can you see this right now? Here we have the top tray against the total products that we have. Can you see this right now? This is what I'm talking about. So we have extracted the top 3. Okay, the next step we're going to take right now is to see how we can make a move to some kind of like make it dynamic, so that we can select on a select dynamically top 1, top 2 down to the top 5, or even beyond that, and compare it against other products. Okay, now that we've gotten the top 3, we don't need to keep this again, so we can go ahead and remove the total revenue, and what we have left is just the top 3 products. So we're not done yet. Let's see what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna come right here back to my dynamic product. Now we have to make things very simple. Instead of us to create multiple measures for this, we can just create one measure with the help of variables. So we're going to be using variable very much in this particular project. So what we can do now is this. I'm going to some kind of copy from here to here. This is where it is. So I'm just going to copy. I'm going to cut it away from here. I want to take it up to this part here. Hold your control, hold your shift, enter, and now I'm going to create a variable right in here. And the name of the variable is going to be top. I'm going to type in here variable top products. So variable top products is going to be equal to shift, enter. I'm going to place in this right in here. So hold your shift key. Hope I'm not confusing you. Just get it right now. Hold your shift key, enter, and now we need to create another variable for what? Another variable for our our calculate. So I'm going to type in variable what? Variable. Here is going to be variable revenue. So variable revenue top revenue. So equal to, so here we go. So now we can just have to come right here under the keep filter. So under the keep filter, we want to pass in the total revenue. Oh, sorry. So we want to pass in this particular, variable we actually created right here. So we just have to go top and gives us that, and here we go. We have it. Now we're gonna have to close it, and now we can take this off. So if I hit my enter right now, it should produce the same thing we've gotten. I'm just trying to make things very simple and easy right here. Let's see where the error is. Okay, sorry, we've not some kind of returned it, so we're just gonna have to say return. So we're gonna return top revenue. I'm gonna hit my enter key right now. So we should have the same thing. So it works, it's giving us the same thing we have previously before now. I just told you that all we did was some kind of try as much as we could to make it very simple and easy to work with. We didn't do anything very complicated right here. So it's just for we to some kind of break it into variables and make sure we have all else. We're gonna have to create a lot of measures, and we're gonna have to look through all those measures, and it's gonna be some kind of confusing. In order to make it much more easier, variable will help you to do things. Let's keep going. So again, we have to create another variable that's going to actually calculate for our new input, which is classification of our other products that does not fall in the midst of the top 3 products. How do we do that? So we just have to create a new variable. So var right here, and I'm going to type in here order revenue products. So now get me right, the reason why I actually typed this long description for my variable is that it's actually going to some kind of calculate the revenue for all the products that does not fall here, and it's gonna be the revenue for those products. So now it's gonna be equal to shift enter. Now here we go. So we just have to use the calculate function to do this. So we can now hit our shift key. So come here, shift enter, and now go right here, and we're going to use the calculate function. So I'm going to calculate my total revenue right here. So here is my comma, and we want to do that by what? Shift enter, and we just have to use all selected as well. All selected, those are the visible one, all selected. Here we go. Now we just have to actually impute this particular our products we just got created, where we have orders right in. And what we're gonna do this time around, we have to push in the column, right? Here is the column that we have to write in there. Sorry, it's gonna be without the table name. Here we go. So that is what we need. So now that we've gotten this, what we need to do next is for we to some kind of have this closed, and shift enter, we're gonna have to close the calculate function, and now I'm gonna have to subtract it. If you understand what we've done right now is that inside this table we have all the products we have stored right in here, and what we're gonna do right now, we want to some kind of calculate what are the total sales of those particular products, and we want to subtract the top 3 out of it. That is how we can definitely do this. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do right now is gonna be some kind of subtracting minus. Can you see the minus right there? So we have subtraction right here, shift enter, and now we're gonna have to use the calculate function again. So calculate. So this time around, what are we going to calculate is still the what? We are still going to calculate the total sales, which is this one right here. So comma, shift enter, and the next thing we're going to do again is indent it. Now if we scroll to the top level right here, you can see where we have variable top products, right? So that is exactly what it is. So we've just created that, so we just have to say top products. So I believe you understand what is going on right here right now. So let me show you what it is. So now, based on what we have right here right now, okay, let me just get this done, then we can actually explain through what it is that is going on. Shift, then we can go ahead and close this. So now here we've some kind of calculated for all the products we have, we've gotten the total. If we made 1 million sales, the total of this particular calculation right here is going to be 1 million. And right here we calculated the top 3, which is this particular top products right here. So the top 3 products was some kind of calculated right here. We actually some kind of subtracted from those one. If the top 3 amounted to like $500,000, which means it's gonna actually get subtracted from here. That was what we actually did. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do right now is to come all the way down right now and some kind of get to change this particular return. So what do we want to return right now? So this time around we're going to return the other products, which is, take this off, other revenue products here. This is the one we are returning, so we're going to return this one. So I'm going to hit my enter key. So let's check it out and see what we have. So now here we go, we have it. And if you look at what's going on right now, let me just give you this view. So it's actually calculating against all the products, and this is not really cool. What we want is not this, but something different. How can we manage this? It really works with some kind of subtracted it from the overall, and we've gotten the top 3. So in order to maintain this, what we can do now is to add another, variable. So we just have to go to dynamic calculation here, and here we go. So before the before the return here, we need to add another variable right in here, and this one is going to be called variable all selected. It's going to be variable all selected or all products selected. That is what we're going to name this. So or still we can name it current product on view. So I'm going to say current view products. So current view products. So don't forget, for you to keep this clean, you can actually use what we call underscore, some kind of make it some kind of readable, something like this would be cool. I think you can read this better right now. So we just have to put our equal to right here, and the next thing now is for you to use selected value. So here we go, selected value, and now we want to check what are we selecting. If I go to our product right now, we can see where we have the column right here. So now we push it in, not the table but the column. That is exactly what we need to do. I'm gonna have to close this, and I've just gotten that particular variable created. And on this particular part here, what we can do right now, under the return, we have to get this off and use the if condition to determine what is being selected. So we're going to say if this particular current view here, so inside here we're going to say current, if current view product here is not equal to others, right? It's not orders. So make sure you are very correct with these orders. If you have to be consistent, if you use order and you're using orders right now, it's not going to work. So if this is not what it is, what do you want me to do for you? So that is where the result comes from. The false and the true comes in. So if it is not equal to others right now, what we want to return is actually going to be this particular one right here where it is. So this particular top revenue right here, this top revenue should be returned. So when I go right here, I'm going to say top revenue. So it's a variable we've just gotten created right here. So return top revenue. So comma, if that is false, you can now return order revenue product. So here we go, we have this, and I'm going to show you where all of them falls. So here we have our top revenue we've created, and we have order revenue product we have right here as well. And now we can hit our enter. Okay, let's see if this does the magic. So we just have to get it. So here we go, we have it. But excuse me, why are we having 4 right in here? Oh goodness, I get it. So don't forget that we have orders, and orders actually classify order products that does not fall in the midst of the top 3 products. So now this is what you need to know. And the total here is the total numbers we have right here, which is not going to kind of show up on our chart. Can you see this right now? Beautiful. So we don't need either of those ones right here. I'm going to take this off. All I need is this one. I'm going to let this one to be here because we're going to have to use it right here. And now we have this, we can actually turn this into a chart, which we can just go ahead and click on this, and we have something just like this. I'm gonna have to bring it all the way right here. We're not done yet. We're gonna have to, make sure we do something that's gonna make this particular chart to look very amazing. So as you can see, the very part our client is really some kind of interested in is that he wanted some kind of changes dynamically, right? So if we just go back here right now, we're seeing top 3. We can decide to change this one to the top 5, right? So I'm going to change this one to 5. If I hit my enter key right now, what is going to give to me on the chart is actually going to be the top 5, and this is not what he really wants. So go back to this chart right here. So now it's giving me the top 5. So we have to make this very dynamics. How do we do that? Let us actually add another table. So go right here. I'm gonna click in home. Here we have a new table. So inside this new table, I want to call this selection. Or I can just name it top selection. Top selections. So it's gonna be equal to shift enter, and now this curly bracket again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Then we can close this, and if I hit my enter key right now, it's going to generate this series of number for us. Can you see that right now? This is what we have right here. We've just gotten this, and this is what is going to go into our slicer, and we can use this one to make it dynamic by selection. All right, come back right here, and this time around we just have to go ahead and insert a slicer. I'm gonna have my slicer right in here. I want to go down to where we have that, so just collapse and open it back, and we can have that top selection right here, and I'm gonna select the value we have right inside it. So this is not what we want to see. I'm gonna have to change that to a list, and here we have the list. If I select it right now, nothing happens. Why? Just because it has not been connected. So we have to connect it, and it can actually work on the visual. The next thing I'm going to do right now is to go to where we have it, our top products, open it up, and here we have this. This is where we're going to have to do the magic. So now we have to go to the top right here, place your cursor here. So right now what we can do, shift enter, we just have to create a new variable right here, variable. So here we're going to have to call this one selection or selected or current selection underscore selection. So variable current selection right here, we're gonna have to store the table we just created right in here. I'm gonna have to use the selected value, and now we need to pass in that. So I'm going to pass in my top selection. So here we go, we have the table, we have the whole table right here, and we have a column existing called value. This is what we're going to pass in, and I can go ahead and close this. Can you see that right now? Done. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do now is to some kind of make this very dynamic. So what can we do? I hope you can guess what we can do right here. Let me let you guess what it is. All right, I believe you guessed it right, whatever it is. So now come here and change this one to current selection here. Remember, the current selection we have right here is actually this particular variable we kind of declared at the top right here, and that is what it is that we need. So if I hit my enter key right now and actually go back to the visual and see what it is we have some kind of done, you see how this get to play good role in making us to dynamically select a particular top in our visual. So let's go back. So now I just want to make sure I select the top one, and now it works, and we have order and we have the top one. If I select the top two, now we have the top two, we have the top three, we have the top four, and we have the top five as well. So we have actually make it easy for our client to get to select dynamically any top he really wants to get to select. So if your client says, okay, I have like hundreds of products, I want to say it down to top 10, what do? It's very simple and easy. You don't have to think like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? You don't have to do any other thing. Just come right here and make a change. So you have to add from 6 to 10 and you're good to go. And that is going to show up right here, and it's going to work perfectly well. Okay, let me select the top 5 and show you something that we need to take note of. So right now, if I do it this way, it's gonna look like the order or the orders right here, the orders classification right here is actually the second rank, which is not really cool. So I want to make sure that I rank this from the tops down to the order. How do we do this? In case you don't understand what I'm talking about, let's see how we can do this with another measure called ranking. So we just have to go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and actually have it right here on this part. So just maintain the folder we have here. Okay, here we have this particular folder right here. So now we just have to create a new measure, and this time around we're gonna call this one chart ranking. So I'm gonna name this one my. So we just have to clear this off from here. I'm gonna name it my chart ranking. It's gonna be equal to shift enter, indent it. So right now I'm gonna actually use the if condition. I'm gonna say if right here So I'm gonna say if top n, sorry, what is the name we've created? If dynamic, sorry, if dynamic. We're gonna go ahead and look at where. So here is it, dynamic top revenue here. So if dynamic top revenue, we don't really need the table name, so we can get this off. We can get it off. It's optional. We're done. If you leave it, it's gonna work, but I don't really as in I don't always feel like it's cool for me to leave it right there. If it is not blank, so if it is not blank, so comma, enter. So if it is not blank, top n, so we just gonna say selected value. So top selection, which is the top selection, the value right here, which means if that particular filter is being clicked on, that is the filter we have right here, like top 1, top 2, top 3 is actually active. So close comma. Then I want to use all selected. So all selected, and we want to pass in the table, which is our products right here. So after that, we just have to do is by, that is other expression is by the total revenue. By the total revenue. So now we just have to some kind of rank it in descending order. So when I create the ranking descending order, so it's already giving me an error right here because something was wrong before top n. Here we go. Before top n right here, I'm gonna have to use a function called rank x. So it's gonna be rank x. So rank x, and now we can come here. So we can say do this by descending order, and that is all we have to do. So we close all of it and we hit enter. The magic is done for us. Just go ahead and do the same thing I've done, and this is gonna actually work so well. So how do we do this to rank this? It's very simple and easy. All we have to do is to actually pass this into the tooltip. If we pass this into the tooltip, it's gonna work just like magic. Watch me do it. So come right here and select this, and I'm gonna actually have to scroll all the way down, and I'm gonna find where we have the tooltip right here, and the chart ranking we've just kind of created will be passed into the tooltip right here. After that, what we can do is for we to come back to our chart, and we have to select it, and now we go to this particular part right here, and we need to sort it. And what we want to sort it by is by this. First of all, click on it. We've just done that, and that is going to be some kind of something like this. And next again is for you to click back on it again and just come right here. You can sort descending. Just check it out. Then you can decide to come back right on it again. You can sort by ascending order. And can you see what I'm talking about right now? Can you see? Now, in case you don't understand what is going on right here, all we just want to do is to eliminate this order to go to the last right hand corner. And now we can rank our top products accordingly. Now, what we've just gotten selected right here is, I'm gonna have to close this. So we can bring this down. Okay, fine. We can see it so well. So we have the top three. This is in the top three. This is the rank 1. This is rank 2 here. This is rank 3, and now this one is rank number 4. And if I select the top 5 right here right now, it's going to actually go ahead and rank it from 1 down to the last for us. So this one is ranking last because this one is not almost visible. So this is those one in group. So this one is actually different, and this is how it kind of worked. Okay, nicely done. We are actually almost right up to a very nice design for our client. He's gonna look like, oh my goodness, this is what I had been looking for. Now we've just made this dynamic selection for you. You can enjoy it. So if we return back to this particular dashboard where we have the complete version of the whole thing, what you're going to find is that we have this dynamic caption we have on top of it to explain what our percentage does. The top 2, 3, 4, and 5 represent in the whole sales we've made, or the whole revenue we have generated. If I select, now we've just selected top 2, and it's telling us the top 2 is actually 28% of the overall sales. And if I go right here and select the top 3, you can see the percentage is going to change based on the top I selected. And if I select the top 5 right now, what is it going to tell me is that 45% of the revenue was generated from this particular 5 selected product, compared to the other products that we have. Now this might look like, how did you do this? Let me go ahead and show you how we can achieve the same thing that we've just done right here. So we have to go back here, and now we have to hit right here. This time around, we just want to go ahead and select this, and inside here we want to create under measure. I'm gonna say new measure again. So let us name this particular part right here percentage of top selection. So we're gonna have to name this one percentage of top selection, top selection. So it's gonna be equal to shift enter, and now I'm gonna indent it with tab. Okay, we're gonna have to create a variable. So variable is gonna be top. So we're going to call this one variable top product. So variable top products. So we're going to have to make sure it's equal to shift enter to enter a new line. And we're going to have to use the calculate function, calculate. And what are we going to calculate right now is the total revenue, the whole total revenue, which is this one right here. So once we've done the calculation of our total revenue, what we want to do right now is that we want to actually see what is being selected, right? So we're gonna have to use our top N for that. So we're gonna say top N. So inside our top N, we want to go shift enter, and we have to use the selected value. So selected value right here, and inside the selected value, if you remembered, we created a particular table called the top selection right here. So that is what we want to pass inside here right now. So we're going to have to go with the top selection, and we are going with the one that has the table of the values right in here. And after that, we just have to go ahead and close this comma, shift and enter, and now we have to use the all selected, all selected right here. So inside the all selected, we want to pass the table we've created for the first time when we're actually doing this. That is our table. So it depends on what you have your own table named. You might name your table differently. You have to select what you have your table named. Oh, sorry, we just have to, yeah, mistakenly I've committed this and it's going to give me error, but don't worry, we can fix this. I'm going to have to take it off. I wanted to close it and it went and hit enter. So now I can close this, and now I'm gonna have my comma right here. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to make sure I go with the top revenue. Please, when doing this, you have to pay attention to what you have right here. That is the guide that can help you to see what it is that you need to actually place next. You get that? All right, once we've done this, then we have to close this. And we now have to close our calculate function, then enter, and we have to actually create another variable where we can some kind of do another arithmetic to get a percentage created. So here I'm going to call this variable product percentage here. So VR product percentage, so it's gonna be equal to, and inside here what I want to do right now is the divide function. I'm gonna say divide. So we want to divide what? We want to divide the products, the top products right here, which is this one. So I'm gonna say top and it's gonna be giving my top products. I want to divide that by what? I want to divide that by my total revenue. Do you get it right now? Total revenue, which is the revenue we've generated holistically. Here we go, total revenue. So once we've done this, we can just go ahead and close this right here, and that is all we have to do. So the next thing we can do right now is for we to some kind of return this and see what it is that we're gonna have. Shift enter, and right here I'm gonna write like return. Then now it is time for we to create our caption using different concatenation and formatting to actually get this done. How do we go about it? So I'm gonna actually come right here. I'm gonna actually use a double quotation. I'm gonna say top, close it. I'm gonna have, before I close it, just have to give a space. Then we're gonna have space right here. I'm gonna use my ampersand right here, selected value. So if you practice this, you're gonna have to understand it very much than just watching over and over again. So selected value, and this selected value now is gonna be my top selection. So here we have the top selection. Inside this top selection is going to produce a number, and right here I want to some kind of have a delimiter. Instead of me to have a space delimiter, why don't I just have a dash inside it? So I'm going to have my top 1, top 2, top 3. That is what this one is going to some kind of produce once we committed this, right? Okay, now I'm going to have to close this, and under one here again. So products. So now here's gonna like top 2 products made. Top 2 products made. So, and the ampersand again. And the next one is gonna be we formatting the percentage. We're gonna actually have to add right here. We have to format that, and the percentage is gonna be this because already we have calculated our percentage right here. And what I'm gonna do right now is to actually add that right here. If you are very familiar with Microsoft Excel and you've been watching my tutorial on how I create my Excel dashboard, you would definitely understand what I'm about to do. So we have to format this for we to have percentage number formatting right on it. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to type in here format function. So I'm going to pass in what I want to format, and that is going to be my product percentage here. This is it. So this product percentage is not a function but a variable. We actually stored, stored the percentage we actually created right here. Can you see that right now? This is the variable. So that is exactly what it is. So now we need to actually format this on a percentage format. So I'm gonna put my comma right here, and now space, double quotation, I'm gonna say hash, and after hash, comma, hash again, and I'm gonna have my percentage, and this one will definitely give me our percentage. If you want a decimal places, you can actually add 2 hashes, right? That is gonna be what you need. So once I'm done with that, I'm gonna have to give a space again. I'm gonna type in here revenue. So revenue compared to the overall revenue. I'm just using capital letter for the revenue for me to some kind of make it stand out, whatever it is. So let's go ahead and test it out to see what it is that we've just created right here. I'm going to hit my enter key right now. So this should work now. So step out and let us go with a card. I'm going to come right here. I want to bring in my this percentage top, and here we go. We don't need to reformat this again. We are good to go. We are good to go. Okay, let's try something. Come back and click on it. Let me add 1 more hash to it. Let's see what it's going to produce, right now. Okay, I think that doesn't work. We should have I think for it to work, what we need to do now is for we to have point inside here. I'm gonna have point. I'm gonna commit it right now. Once we committed that, we can go back and check it out. You can see 65.9 is what we have, but if we remove that, it's gonna give us, approximate this, I'm gonna have 66%. Did you get it? This is what we need to do. So now we have just done this, and our dashboard is actually almost coming to life, just like what we have right now. So can you see what we've just done? This is amazing. So it is time for you to actually get into the next part of this particular class. But before then, let us have to arrange this nicely the way it should be. I'm gonna have to bring this down, and I'm gonna quickly come here and go to slider settings. From there, I'm gonna turn this to something like horizontal. You can definitely go ahead and open it up, and this is what we have right now. So this is just going to be a place for it. We're going to have to format this nicely in a jiffy. So right now, let me select my top 3, and this gives me my top 3. And if I select my top 4, this gives me my top 4 and all of that. So we can just go ahead and get this, and I'm going to have to format it. I'm not going to be worried about the formatting right now. Let me use 20. So we can go to general, we can go to effect and turn off this background we have for it. And now we can definitely come right here where it is. Okay, the title, come here and close this and turn off this. So we're gonna have to format our chart in Jiffy, but don't worry, when we get there, we're gonna do that. So we just want to make some arrangements right now to make our dashboard to flow the way it is. Another aspect of the dashboard we need to take care of right now in order to create a very well flowing story is this part and this particular part right here. Okay, let me tell you what is going on. Can you see this particular thumbs down? It can turn to thumbs up, depends. Now here we have our selection for period, and if we go ahead and open it up right now, what we have is a bunch of dates right here. If I select like December right now 2020, what it gives me is the previous month before December 2020. So it's actually trying to compare that to the current month I have selected, and if that month is actually the previous month is higher, it's going to give me a thumbs up, while if the previous month is lower, it's going to give me a thumbs down. Like when I select August right now, I'm still having a thumbs up. Select August 2020, having a thumbs up. You can keep selecting, and now it changes, right? Thumbs down. And not just that, if you look at what we have right here, every single time we make a selection, this particular part changes. New York performance in April 2020, and if we select another region right now, we can actually see Los Angeles performance, we can say Chicago performance, and this is actually very dynamic. It changes, and the month here, whatever month we have selected from here, is what is going to some kind of reflect on this particular part right here. So this is what I want to show you how I actually got it to kind of created. Let's get on it. So first of all, you have to come right here, and this is what it is that we have right now. We don't want to use something as huge as this number. We have to some kind of make sure we format this nicely. What I want to do is for me to come right to this particular right hand corner where we have format your visual right in, come right here, make sure you go to effects and turn off the background, because we're going to be using a custom background for it. Okay, next thing again, I'm going to actually turn off the category label. It's gone. Next again is for me to go to my callout value. I'll go right here and I'll turn it to auto, and I'm gonna have something like this. I'm not very cool with what I have right now, so the next thing I'm gonna do is for me to actually make sure I select this one and head up right here and make sure you select currency. So that being done, we are actually almost cool with what we have right now, but not really. We're gonna have to do formatting generally. When we are done with all the DAX measures and all the visuals, then we can properly format this. But for now, let's just concentrate on the logic aspect of it. So I'm going to actually right click and insert a new measure inside this particular part. And inside this measure, what I want to have right here is the previous month before the current month. But right now, it might seem like, what are you doing? It's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work, but I need to do this first. I'm going to have to go and say previous revenue. So it's going to be equal to, and we have to use the calculate function to do this. So calculate. So what the calculate does is actually going to need us to actually get an expression. I want to bring the measure here that is producing this particular number. So we have to use a filter called last period, or previous month. So previous month here is looking for a date, and we have to give it a date table. So I'm gonna go for my calendar, and here we go. We have the calendar table right here, and we can go ahead and close this and hit our enter key. Let's see what this produces, and quickly we have to give it the right formatting for it and all of that. So I'm gonna go right here. I want to choose the currency, and I don't want extra decimal for this. I want to take it off. So from auto, you put it on 0 and hit your enter key. That is all you have to do. And the next one is for we to some kind of drag this on the card. So I'm gonna have to duplicate this card. So just go ahead and select this, Ctrl C and Ctrl V to copy and paste it down. I'm gonna have this one right here. So here, my previous month, we go in here. So now we are having blank. That was why I told you it's not going to work, because no filter has been selected, so it's giving us blank. So what we're going to do right now is to make sure we have the calendar opened. And now, if you remember vividly, when we actually created our date table, we added a column that actually joined both month and year together. So select that. So here we go. So I don't want to have it just like this. I want to have it on a slicer. So this is what we have. So if I select something like December 2021 right now, it can now show me how much we made in the previous month before December 2020. If I select December 2021, there is no data for this, and actually it's showing me a value for different month of the previous month before December. That is going to be November, of course. But if you want to see how this works before we definitely start to populate our dashboard and design it so well, let's see how this works, what is going on behind this. So all I need to do right now is to make sure I select my total revenue, previous revenue, and I'm gonna have to bring in this particular one right here as well, and I want to see that in table. So now we can't see it so well. The reason being was that we have a filter right on it. So I want to remove the filter, the interaction. Just go to format and click on this particular edit interaction, and I'm gonna have to uncheck this, and I have everything right here. Okay, right now let us go ahead and see how it works. I'm gonna remove the interaction. I want to deselect it. Let's say we select August 2021 right now. August 2021 produces $216,000. Now if we come right here and locate what we have, August right here, we have August 2020. Okay, so we are selecting April, right? So let us select August instead, so that we can actually get to compare this. So now in August 2021, we have $160,000 plus. So now in the previous month is actually this. That is the previous revenue. This is it. Now how can we track the month that the previous revenue is going to fall to? And that is going to be on July 2021. July 2021 is actually the previous month before August. That is July and August. Can you see that right now? Now what we want to do is to see if July is higher than the current month, which is the one on our selection filter. So we want to see if that is actually higher, but we don't just want to see this. We want people to some kind of get to tell if this is higher or lower by saying the thumbs up or thumbs down. We don't want them to think too much by actually trying to see what the figure is all about. That is what we want to do right now. So what we can do in this particular aspect is this. Now that we've understood how this works, I'm going to get this off from here, and I'm going to keep this one here, but this time around we just have to move this one right here, and I'm going to go ahead and change this. When we start to format this nicely, we're going to have to do something. So 25 is going to be cool. Don't worry, we're going to format this to look so well, and I'm going to have to make it smaller. I'm going to have it right here for now. So we want to go to Excel and get to do the magic from Excel. So here we have Excel selected. Right here, let me open a new sheet. So if I hold my Windows icon, the Windows icon, right? Hold your Windows icon, and this is the Windows icon produces this when you click on it. If you're actually working on Windows, I don't know how Mac will definitely behave, but the Windows icon will give you this when you click on it. That is what you need to get. So make sure you hold down your the key down, like the Windows key down, and the single quotation. Once you click on it, it's going to produce this for you. Can you see this right now? Very simple and easy. So from there we can scroll through to see what we are looking forward to seeing. So I'm gonna have to scroll the way down to see where we have the thumbs up and thumbs down. Here we go, we have this, and we have this. So we've just gotten both of them, and this time around I'm gonna have to go ahead and copy this one that says thumbs up. You can copy it from here, and I'm gonna go back to my Power BI. So here we go. So now that we are here, we have to create another measure for this. So we can just go ahead and insert a new measure, and this measure is going to name thumbs up or thumbs up and down, or we can just name it arrow whatsoever. So we make sure we are right here. Thumbs. So I'm gonna say equal to. So now we have to use the if condition. I'm gonna say if, previous, that is the previous month we created, previous revenue here. So this is the previous revenue. If the previous revenue is greater than total sales or total revenue here, because the total revenue will be the current month on our selection when we make a selection through the slicer, right? So if that is actually the case, I want you to give me this thumbs up. If it is not, so we need to actually go ahead and get a thumbs down. So now we copy the thumbs down from Excel, copy it, and we go back right here. We come here and we paste this, and make sure you have your double quotation. So here we go, and we can go ahead and close this and hit our enter key. This works like magic. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to make sure we drag this on a card. So select the card and bring the thumbs right here. It's going to look very huge. So now it's a thumbs up. Can you see? Because this one is higher, it's giving us thumbs up. If we select February right now, we're still having thumbs up. Now we have thumbs down because it's lower than the current selection we have, February. Do you get that? So we can just go ahead and go to this particular part and have it formatted. We want to take off the background where we would have on it, and come back right here and turn off this and go right here and reduce this, put this on 20. So we have something as small as this, and for the time being we're gonna have to leave this right here. Don't worry, as time goes on we're gonna have to make sure we get to, you see what is going on. Can you see that? So the next we're going to be taking care of later after all is actually this, where we have blank. What do we want to show when we have blank? We don't want to show blank to our end users. I believe you know that. It's going to make them to look like this is not working. So we have to make sure we have something right here that tells them what the blank is all about, so that they wouldn't feel like this is throwing up an error. So don't worry, when we get to that bridge, we're going to cross it. Alright, we've just gotten this achieved. The next thing I'm going to do right now is to make sure I format my slicer, and I'm going to make sure I use a drop down for it. So I'm gonna have my slicer right here. I'm gonna copy, paste it. I wanna just have this right here, and this time around is region, not this. You can close this so that it can all collapse. Open it back, and we can go to our region, and we can select the region from here, and this is the region. So coming right here, we select month and we select region, and it gives us this. So let us see the magic we're gonna have to do right here when we do this, because we are trying to tell a story with our dashboard. Going back here right now, the story we're telling right now is that Chicago performance in December 2022, and yeah, everything we see right here is the performance of Chicago. The only place we don't actually apply this December 2022 is on the line chart, so we are only showing the performance of Chicago, but we don't filter it down with this. With the selected filter, that is what you should understand. So how do we create this particular part right here? Let's go and see what it is. So now before we create that, let us go back right here. Now I'm going to go to, let's collapse it. Okay, it doesn't work on this part. I'm going to collapse everything. I'm going to collapse this as well. Okay, I'm going to select our product. So here we go on our product here. I just want to create another folder. Here we have the folder. This is the top product. Here we have a folder that is actually taking the top product, and this one here is living right here. Inside here, I just want to add, that is ranking. I want to add another folder here, and the folder is going to be called title or caption. Okay, let me just call it caption. Caption. So we have another folder called caption now. So we have this top folder. If you open it, you have something in it, and we have another folder. Let us quickly go back right here and see what I'm talking about. So inside caption, if we have it open, this is just what we have right now. Inside caption is where I want to have that particular title right in new measure. So right here, I'm going to name it my current filter. I'm going to name this one current filter view. Current view. Okay, let me just name it current view. Current view caption. Let me just name it caption. You can name it anything you want. Caption is going to be equal to. You know very much that I am a fan of variables, because variable will make my life very easy when I do this. If you learn how to do this, you will definitely love using variables, because without variables, you would have to create like 2, 3, 4, 5 measures before you start to combine them together, you know, in one measure. So for that, with variables, you don't have to do that. I'm going to name this one my variable region. So variable region selected is going to be equal to, and right here I want to some kind of store the regions right here. I'm going to start the region. I'm going to say region. Sorry, to do that we have to use selected value. So this selected value, we now actually scan through it and say like, okay, we've just selected this. Let me actually use this to give you what you want. Selected value, we just select region, and what we need in region is the column where we have the regions, the names right in. I'm gonna have to close this, right? So once we have this closed, the next thing I'm gonna do is this. So we're gonna need another variable again for month. So we need variable for month selected is going to be equal to selected value again, and here is going to be my calendar, and this is what we want, where we have the combination of month and year. I'm going to have to close this right now. So we have to return this, shift enter, and I'm going to have to say return. So when we are returning this, we're gonna say region selected. Here we go. So performance in, then months selected. All right, let me just give a space here, then it can make a lot of sense, but it doesn't really matter. This is what it is. So if I hit my enter key right now, this actually does the work for us. This does the work for us. Nicely done. Let's go ahead and see what we've done. I'm gonna go ahead and click this, and I want to select my current view. I'm gonna have to make sure I go ahead and format it. Remember, we are going to do mass do under formatting, but for now we just have to make sure things are right. 25. Let us use 20. 20 will be cool. Okay, close it and select this. So I'm gonna have to bring it down here. So this time around, if I go to the top level, now we have Los Angeles performance in August 2021, and if I select this right now, like New York City, so New York right here would be this, and if I select a different month and year, like I'm gonna select like January 2021, and this is what it is that is gonna give to us. That is what we want. So now that we've done this, we can actually take it and have it placed where it belongs. So I'm gonna select those here, I'm gonna bring them down. So we want to make sure this one stays here. So now go ahead and click on text box. Inside the text box right here, I want to type in toy sales dashboard. So we can just go ahead and use something like 28 and see. So it's okay. We want to go ahead and select, different, like when we go down, we can use something like the bold one. Can change this to something like this. And now we can go right here, go to effects, and the background will be turned off. So highlight it again, and let's change the font. This too dark. I don't want something as dark as what it is. I'm still gonna use something like this. That is okay. So we can just make it this way and centralize it. So now we can just move this and have it right here. This way this one is gonna live now. So we are actually, bringing those dashboard together. So we can just go ahead and move this. Okay, fine. So when we get to the filter area, we're going to take care of the filter and see how it's going to look like. Then, so we need to tell what this is all about. So I'm just going to go ahead and just select this. Hold your control, select this, bring it down just like this. That is cool. So we can go ahead and copy this. We don't need to actually insert another one again. Paste it down, bring it all the way right here, and say total revenue. Ctrl A to change it. So we can decide to use 24. Have it right here. Don't forget, we're gonna have this on a card as time goes on. So for now, we're gonna leave it this way. And quickly, we just want to go ahead and copy and paste it down, bring it all the way down right here. So here is gonna take our previous month. Ctrl A and we'll reduce it to something that is going to look cool. Yep. So let us add sales right here. Sales previous month, and this is going to live here. So if that's to live there, definitely we have to make sure this goes a bit down for it. So this one can go ahead and stay right here. Right. Okay, our next showcase is actually gonna be, let me just move this one right in here for now. We'll take care of the whole chart for now. Let it be this way. So we want to show the sales by the revenue by the weekdays. We have a column for our weekdays, and that is gonna be this column right here. And we want to make sure we use this chart for weekdays, and quickly we want to go to where we have the revenue, go to all measures and select revenue, and this is what it is. So we have our weekdays right here. You don't worry. So once we are done, we arrange it, and we're gonna have something just like what we have right here right now. But for now, let us take care of it the way it is. So we have to duplicate this for now. Ctrl C, Ctrl V to paste it down. And what we're gonna have right on this particular part is the regions, right? Is regions. And I'm gonna have to go ahead and take off this weekdays, and we go to where we have our regions, sales, lookup, we push it in. So now we can see, because we have filter right on it, so we don't want to actually apply filter right on this. So make sure you click on the filter. After you might have clicked on the filter, go to format, interaction, then we have to locate where this is. That is okay. Can you see that? Nicely done. So get it off. Okay, next is to show revenue on a monthly, show the trend on a monthly basis. Just reduce this. Okay, we just want to go ahead and select the line chart, because this is actually time of the thing. Bring it down, move it all the way down right here. We just have to select month from our calendar table, select month, and select the year as well. And we go ahead and select revenue, total revenue. So now we have this filter right on it, so we don't want this to happen. So make sure you click on it and go to interaction and edit it, and we just have to move this away. Now we can see the trend. So our dashboard is coming together, and I love it this way. So what we can do now is just to make sure we get this away a little bit. That is nice. So right now we are halfway done with our work. The next thing we have to do right now is to start to create the formatting, give it the right formatting, the right color, and go to PowerPoint and create our custom, our template, and have it right here, and have the dashboard as clean as what we have right now, just like this. If you compare this to the one we just left, like this one, you can see the difference. So now let's do that.